Be a breadwinner, you can be a breadwinner. Girl, go and get that. You can achieve that.
Hello, 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 and welcome to another Breadwinning Wednesday. Today, we are talking about how to find leads for your high-end service. And if you are new to the Breadwinning Women community, then I want to welcome you. I am Jamila Payne, host of the Breadwinning Women community, CEO at Daily Success Routine, which is a coaching and training company focused on helping women service providers to simplify their business so that they can grow their revenue without working more hours. So we have a really exciting topic for today, and I took a bunch of notes that I wanted to share with you. And we're talking about how to find leads for your high-end service. And this is really important because I know that you want to grow your business. And if you want to grow your business, that's going to give you the ability, right, to be able to increase your revenue and also to increase the impact on the clients that you're having, because ultimately you'll be working with more clients. Well, your leads essentially are the source of where those new clients are going to be coming from. And if you don't currently have a system in place that will help you to find those leads, identify those leads, and nurture those leads, then you absolutely need to get that system in place. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. Leads are the people that you essentially bring into your sphere of influence. Okay, the leads are the people that you bring into your sphere of influence. If you have a system for identifying leads in your business, I want you to give me a 1 in the chat. If you're watching live inside of the Breadwinning Women community as well, give me a 1 in the chat. If you currently have a system for developing leads in your business or generating leads in your business. If you don't, no worries. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about it today. Okay, so when you think about your leads, you want to be thinking about bringing these people into your sphere of influence and then beginning to nurture them. And nurturing the leads is often where I see a lot of people fall off. Like they either aren't even generating any leads or they're not nurturing the leads. So write that down. Okay, so those are typically 2 holes that service businesses have. They either are bringing in the leads or they're not nurturing the needs, because the nurturing of the leads is what allows them to turn into customers. So a person is not actually a lead in your business until you have their contact information. Okay, that means their name, their email address, or their telephone number. Like, you absolutely have a way to get in touch with them. That's what you need in order for a person to be a lead. So you want to have these leads inside of a lead community. This could be a Facebook group. It could be a LinkedIn group. It could be an email list. Okay, having a connection with a person who's just a Facebook follower or friend, or having a connection with a person who's just an Instagram follower is not a lead, but that can definitely be where you begin to find leads. Welcome, Lisa. Hey, Kim. I see Becky's coming in now. I see there's also several watching inside of the Breadwinning Women community. Throw some likes and hearts up on this video. Say hello so I can shout you out. Okay, so what we talked about so far is you want to be bringing leads into your business on a consistent basis. You want to be bringing those leads into a lead community. Your lead community is a closed door community, like a Facebook group, like a LinkedIn group, like an email list. And a person is not officially a lead until you have their contact information. So someone who's just a friend or a follower is not a lead, but that is where you can start to look for people. That's where you will find some of the leads through your friends, through your followers, through your social media connections, through your personal network, right? These are all people that are around you that you have not yet called into your sphere of influence, which means you officially have their contact information. Okay, if this is landing for you, give me an L in the chat for landing. This is totally making sense. You get it. You can see how a person who's just a follower or a friend on Facebook is not actually a lead, right? But they're just someone who is in your audience, right? Person who's just in your audience is not actually a lead. And the reason why they're not a lead is because you don't yet have their contact information. So if you're struggling to find leads, then I want you to start with your audience. You first go to your audience. You may look at some of your social connections or your personal network, like friends of friends, for example, could be leads, people that you meet at events. I was just talking to Phyllis the other day, and she was telling me about how she got a client that she met at a networking event. I forget what kind of community that she said it was. It was like a book club or a group that she was involved in of women business owners. And she met someone who ended up becoming a client. Well, that is a person who was like in an audience that she's a part of, that she then turned into a lead by exchanging information, right? She got their phone number, she got a way to follow up with them. A person cannot be a lead in your business if you don't actually have some kind of way to follow up with them and be in touch with them, okay? So that is absolutely critical. Where I said where most people fall off is the nurture. So if you don't have a person's information, you can't actually nurture the relationship. You can't keep in touch with them. One of the reasons today you don't see my normal background is because I am actually at a conference today, and I have been meeting people at that conference, and we're exchanging information. In fact, it's so funny now, so different from how, you know, how you used to just like trade business cards at an event. Now people are like taking selfies together. Like this is the new way of connecting, taking selfies together and then putting each other's contact information in their phone with the picture of the selfie. So now you can remember the person that you met. I mean, my gosh, business today is like literally just so different from even like a few years ago, like 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Digital technology has really changed that. So anyway, I wanted to share that because these are people who they may not be leads right now, but they could become leads. Okay, here's an additional key to making sure that someone is actually a lead. You need to qualify them. Okay, so in my world, when I talk about leads, I'm always talking about qualified leads. Whereas in some other communities, you may hear people talking about leads, but they're not actually qualified. Like there's people, you know how you meet someone and you exchange information, but they're not really a potential customer. Like they have nothing to do with whatever you do, right? Like they have no need or no desire for the service that you offer. Okay, what actually makes someone a qualified lead is you have somehow gotten them to raise their hand to know that they have an interest in what you do. In our community, in the Breadwinners Mastermind, we call this we call this the cocktail party test, okay? So here's how the cocktail party test works, and I want you to try this out. So imagine that you are at a cocktail party that you're hosting. It's a room, like it's in a really beautiful hall, and you're at or a hall or a hotel or something like that, and you're standing at the front of the ballroom on the stage. And the room is surrounded with high top rounds. Everyone's holding their glass of wine in hand. And you're going to get on stage and you're going to call out the people in the room that are your ideal clients. So you need a way to call them out where not everybody in the room would raise their hand. So let's just say, for example, One of our clients inside of Breadwinners Mastermind, she works with single moms. So if she got on stage and said, okay, will all of my single moms raise their hand? Would everybody in the room raise their hand? No, right? It would be a clear identifier. Like you either are a single mom or you're not, right? Like even if you're married and you have children, then you don't qualify, air quotes, right? You don't qualify as a single mom. So they wouldn't fit. So you need to be able to do that cocktail party test from the front of the room. So you can't have a generic name like, where are all the ladies at? Okay, well, if it's a women's cocktail party, then everybody in the room is going to raise their hand. So the test doesn't actually work. Okay. So you want to make sure that you could do the cocktail party test when you are calling in your leads. So what you want to do when you're calling in the leads is you want to have something that you can offer them that meets 2 points of criteria. So you want to have something that you can offer them. Number one, that identifies who they are, meaning they fit your ideal client profile. So they could pass the cocktail party test. Plus their ability, you know that they specifically have an interest in what you're offering. Okay, they need to meet both criteria. This is how you qualify a lead. So when you are reaching out to someone to connect with them, you want to make sure, number one, they can pass the cocktail party test, because you know that if you call them out, they would raise their hand and say, that's me. And you also know that they have an interest in what you do. So in our Breadwinners Mastermind community, we call the resource that you would give out a client candy. A client candy could be a PDF, it could be an audio that you give a person, it could be a podcast episode, it could be a checklist, a cheat sheet, it could be anything. I mean, anything you could imagine. It could be a free gift that you offer someone, an ebook, right? Although if you don't have client candy already, I don't recommend going through the trouble of writing a whole book just to have a client candy. You could just do like a one-sheet PDF or something. But you have this client candy and you utilize your client candy in order to call in your leads. So let's just say you have let's use the example of the single moms. You have a guide on, let's say if you were a fitness professional and you have a single mom's guide to getting fit and looking great in your favorite jeans, right? Then that document would specifically call in single moms, right? Because it's called the Single Moms Guide. And it says guide to getting fit so you can get back in your favorite jeans. So someone who's not interested in getting fit and who's not interested in getting into their favorite jeans is not going to be interested. Okay, does that make sense? Give me a T in the chat if this totally resonates and you're like, okay, I get it. So you need to make sure that you're naming whatever it is that you're giving away as your client candy, like something sweet, tasty treat, like a sweet client candy treat that you're giving to your potential leads, so that you can qualify them in the process of bringing them in. Okay, so give me a 1 in the chat if you have some kind of resource like this already. If you have some kind of client candy, a PDF guide, an ebook, a cheat sheet or something. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sierra. Hi, Merle. So glad that you're here. You guys are awesome. Hey, Becky. All right, Phyllis, I saw you were trying to get in. I don't know why your connection wouldn't work, but so glad that you're here. All right, so many ladies watching. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I hope all this is connecting and resonating. Okay, so let me kind of recap here what we talked about so far. So firstly, you're gonna find leads from your audience. Now, what if you don't have an audience? Okay, well, you gotta start building an audience. That's number one. So your audience is going to be people that are following you on LinkedIn, people that are following you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on your social media, people who are in your network, your friends of friends, right? Those are people that comprise your audience. And if you feel like you don't have an audience, I bet you that is absolutely not true. Because here's what I want you to think about. If you were going to have a party at your house, who would you invite? Right? If you say nobody, okay, then you don't have an audience. Okay. But I'm pretty sure that mostly everyone here would have at least 10 people that you could invite, you know, over to your house for a get together, right? Those are people that are in your audience. Now, there might be some people on social media that you definitely wouldn't invite over to your house, but maybe you're going to invite them to a virtual Zoom room or something like that, right? They would be the people in your audience. So you want to move people from being in your audience to being leads. Now, what I said is that a person only becomes a lead at the point that you have their contact information. So you need to capture their name plus one other way to get in touch with them, whether that's their email address or their phone number. As text message marketing is becoming more and more important, I would highly encourage you to not only have an email address. Speaking of text message, did we send out a text today? I don't think we sent, I didn't get a text message today. Paula, can you check that out? I don't think we sent out a text. I'm like, speaking of text message marketing, I don't think we sent out a text to remind everybody today. So you want to make sure that you have a way of getting in touch with them, their email address, their phone number, if you can. If not, just at least get their name and their email address. Okay, that what makes them officially a lead. The way that you're going to get them to become a lead is by qualifying them through offering them a tasty treat. We call this tasty treat your client candy. You're going to give them some kind of candy, something that's going to let them say that they are people that fit in your ideal audience, because we did the cocktail party test. They're standing at the front of the room. You know, they are single moms, right? They could raise their hand and say, yes, that's me. And you also know that they're interested in what you're offering, because you're going to name your client candy accordingly by saying, oh, this is a guide to getting fit. Or for example, if you're a professional organizer like Phyllis is, and you would say, this is a guide to organizing your home office. Or if you're a legal nurse consultant like Lisa is, and you may say, this is a guide to winning your next malpractice case or something like that, right? Like, or personal injury, rather, not malpractice, personal injury. This is a guide to winning for attorneys who want to win or get a larger payout on their next personal injury case. Okay, so then that would be an example of how you would name your client candy in order to make sure that you get the best results and that those leads are actually qualified. Okay, let me see what else here I wrote in my notes. I wanted to make sure I had so much to share with you about this that I didn't want to forget anything. Okay, so I think I did everything. Okay, so let's talk about what we learned. So number one, you need to have a lead community, okay? A place that you are accruing these leads. So we talked about like a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group, an email list. You want to be accruing your leads in the same place. That's very, very important, okay? Accruing your leads in the same place so that you can nurture the relationship, get to know them, get to know more about them, be able to share more about what you do with your leads. Those are very important factors. So you need a place where you're collecting all the leads. Remember, a person is just following you on social media is not a lead. They're just in your audience, okay? So where to find the leads? The leads are going to come from your audience. So a person who's just following you is in your audience. You need to move them to a lead by capturing their information, okay? And then we talked about how to call in your ideal leads. You call in your ideal leads using the client candy, some tasty, juicy treat that you give them that makes them excited, that like they're like, yes, 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 I want more. I want to learn from you. I'm excited to hear more about what you offer. And then nurturing is the key once you have pulled in the leads into your lead community in order to convert them from a lead in order to, and over to a client, and you need to nurture the relationship. All right, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. And I will go through and answer questions. Before we wrap, I want to make you aware of something very cool that we have coming up. So I want you to write this down if you have a notebook, or if not, then just pull out your phone. I got my phone right here, and save it in your phone. I want you to save the dates. Here's the dates: June 20th to the 24th. June 20th to the 24th. So June 20th to the 24th, we are bringing back and hosting our signature challenge, the Signature Service Makeover Challenge. This is going to be a 5-day challenge where we are going to help you to really solidify a solid offer in your business. So if you're in a place right now where you have multiple services that you're offering, people have like 10 different things they can buy from you, I'm going to show you how to narrow that down, because I'm telling you, if you have way too many offers, it's preventing your business from growing. I'm going to show you how to narrow that down into one really, really juicy offer that people are struggling to resist, that they're like, listen, I want that. I need that. That is missing in my life or business, depending on what you do. So we're going to show you how to get to that juicy offer in your signature offer. We're going to show you how to price it. We're going to show you how to position yourself as a 5-star service provider. It is going to be great. One of my favorite parts of the Signature Service Makeover Challenge is we actually do live business makeovers. So I usually bring people to the virtual stage and I make over their business live in front of the audience, okay? So you'll have a chance to apply for one of those live makeover sessions. So if this sounds interesting to you and you're, excited about being able to participate, to be a part of the Makeover Challenge, we're going to have a lot of fun things coming up as we gear up for that event. So we are, I guess, just about a little less than a month out from the event, but I want you to get it on your calendar now, because I know you may have a lot of things going on. Kids are getting out of school, a lot of stuff is happening. I want to make sure that you got it saved on your calendar, because it's going to be really good. So again, the dates are June 20th to the 25th. I'm going to double check and make sure I'm not missing any questions. Merle, great comment. Absolutely. Appealing to specific audiences is absolutely the key. Just checking to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, good. All right, we got good comments here. All right, so that's going to be our Breadwinning Wednesday session for today. We're going to be back here next week with another Breadwinning Wednesday for you at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is that? 3 Pacific Time, 5 Central. So make sure you join me next week as well. So save the date for next week, and I will see you then. All right, bye for now.